Welcome to Keith's Broken Boats and other stuff. Hello, I'm back in the Avon Navigation Trust Yard and I'm going to be working on City today. City is quite an old school little tug used on the river for pushing work boats and stuff around, and it is an old school tug. Okay, it's a Bannerman tug. And then there's a Batham tug, I think it's made sort of in the early 70s, I think it is. I wouldn't be 100% sure. And it is a proper old school tug. This thing has got a little bit of a little grey battleship about it. Look at the steering that's on it, okay? There's no hydraulics, linkages, power steering or anything. It's these chains, run off some gears off the back of the steering wheel, go outside the side of the cabin there, down those two tubes here that run down the side of the boat, and they're direct on top of the rudder. Nothing that can go wrong with this that can't be fixed on the side of the river. It's fantastic. I do really like this boat. It's one of the first boats I ever went out to sort of recover anything with while I've been at the trust. We go down into the engine room. It used to have a hand start Lister engine in it, but that's been replaced by this nice big 100 horsepower Sol diesel engine. And the job I'm going to be doing today in here is replacing the fuel line that goes from the fuel tank from this filter housing. You can see it's got some joints in it, and where it goes down around the floor, it's actually raised up off the floor, which makes it a trip hazard. There's another joint in it just there, and if you're walking through here, you kick those joints, you can damage them, start sucking air, the boat will break down. So I've got some more copper pipe, and I'm going to make one continuous pipe. So I've bent this one pipe now, and it goes round there, down the back of that, around the filter. There's no joints in there at all, apart from the one where the pipe begins and where it ends. It's flush, well, just below the floor level there, so it can't be kicked or damaged anymore. There's no joints to get damaged, apart from the one at the beginning and the one at the end. On copper fuel pipes, you cannot use soldered joints, because if there's ever a fire in the engine room, the solder will melt and it'll spill fuel. Change this to fuel filters now. So I've got the diesel turned off. I'm going to crack this undone and get it off. Undo that. Something just underneath it. Catch the fuel as it comes off. That's the bottom off. Let's get a little bit of rag now. Let all that drip into there. Okay, there's a couple of seals in here. There's one there. I'll just try and wedge it out. It's just spinning round. There we go. That one on the top. One on the bottom. There's also an O-ring here, which seals the inside of the top of the filter. Just pick that one off. Drop that in there. Grips on that a minute. And there we go. Take that off. I think this bar should have stayed in the bottom of the housing. If we take that off, put that out the safe, and lift up this bolt, there's also another O-ring just there, a little teeny tiny one. Okay, and that seals, stops air getting in the top. So we'll just change those O-rings. So we'll get the new filter box. The new filters normally come with the O-rings. The little teeny tiny O-ring. Slide that over the bolt like that. A little bit of grease. Never go wrong with a little bit of grease on things, just to help them seat. Drop that in there. got the next O-ring, which is the one that goes in here. You're just going to pop that in place. Again, a little bit of grease. Put that around that O-ring. Then there's the top seal. These two seals, believe it or not, one of them is just slightly bigger than the other, and the slightly bigger one is the top one. I'm going to get a bit of grease, put it in that groove just to help hold it all in place. Slip that in there like that. Get a little bit of grease and slide that around there. Then you get the filter, pop that on. That should bite on that O-ring in the middle. Get the fuel bowl, which goes on the bottom. Put that bit of threaded bar back in it, because that's what it's supposed to be. And then this seal here goes in the bottom of there, goes in the bottom of there, like that. Again, a little finger, a little smidge of grease around it, just to help it all line up. And that all lines up into place. Give it a bit of a whip up. There we go. Just a good nip on that. That's that one changed. Bit of a wipe over so it looks like I've done it. Any excess off, grease off of it. And there we go. And that's the primary fuel filter change. Okay, then we've got the main fuel filter, which is on the engine. That's the main engine fuel filter there. I have actually just changed that. I thought I was videoing myself do it, and I never started the camera. Never mind, it was just a case of slack it off, undo it, spin it off, bit of grease on the rubber in there, put it back on and spin it back up. Now we'll bleed the filters. I'm going to bleed the filters by cracking off this bolt here, pumping the lift pump that's here, but first of all, we'll turn the fuel on, there. So now, if I've got a socket that fits it, I hope, perfect. Just crack that off. Undo this lift pump. And pump. And what that's doing now is that's pulling fuel out the tank into the primary filter, which is up here on the tank. Down the new fuel pipe I put in, and hopefully up into this one. Hopefully, he says, got quite a long way to go, so it will take quite a bit of pumping. And right, I feel the pump working now. And there's the fuel coming out. Put that back in. Give that a nip. And then put the fuel pump down, plunge down, and just tighten it up. Tighten the top back down, like so. That's it. Fuel filter's changed. A little wipe up. Okay, if you got this far, well done. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. Bye.